Thank you for the warm welcome. Your brain health today may determine the quality of your life tomorrow. A healthy lifestyle continues to be cited as one of the best ways we can lower cognitive decline and dementia. Consider that the effects of exercise alone have been found to lower the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease by about 40%. Though there are treatments, there is no cure for Alzheimer's to date. There is hope, and I have good news for you. There is a lot we can do today, individually and collectively, to contribute toward a world without Alzheimer's and other types of dementia. 1 in 3 adults dies with Alzheimer's or another dementia. Alzheimer's kills more people than breast cancer and prostate cancer combined. Over 7 million people live with Alzheimer's disease in the United States. Nearly 12 million Americans serve as unpaid caregivers for these individuals. The Alzheimer's Association reports this year that those caregivers provided about 19 billion hours of unpaid care, valued at over $380 billion. Alzheimer's Disease International reports that 1,141 people are diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease around the globe every hour. That is 27,397 new cases daily, or 19 new cases every minute worldwide. The equivalent of 1 new case of Alzheimer's disease every 3.2 seconds. Here, in the United States, we estimate a person is diagnosed with Alzheimer's every 65 seconds. My mother, Josefina Cruz Gutierrez, passed away from complications from Alzheimer's disease in 2016 at the age of 67. To cope with her loss and honor her memory, I authored Josefina, a memoir. That endeavor led me to the discovery of research findings linking modifiable or lifestyle factors to an increased risk for dementia, which, if avoided or timely addressed, may potentially delay or prevent the onset of Alzheimer's. That newfound knowledge cemented my belief that through communication, education, and prevention, we may be able to make changes that may in turn alter the course of a trend that threatens our present and our future and the well-being of millions of people around the world. From then on, I have devoted most of my time to raising awareness about Alzheimer's disease and other types of dementia, as well as facilitating conversations like this one. Most recently, this past July 2024, my father was also diagnosed with Alzheimer's dementia. My husband and I are his primary caregivers. The Alzheimer's Association has identified 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's. These signs are not part of the normal aging process. Memory loss that disrupts daily life. One of the most common signs of Alzheimer's disease, especially in the early stage, is forgetting recently learned information. Others include forgetting important dates or events, asking the same questions repeatedly, increasingly needing to rely on memory aids, for example, reminder notes, or electronic devices, or asking family members to help with things the person used to handle on their own. What's a typical age-related change? Sometimes forgetting names or appointments, but remembering them later. This was one of the first signs we noticed in my mother. She was a superwoman. She remembered everyone's special dates, birthdays, anniversaries, or any other special occasion. The last gift I received from my mother was for my 30th birthday. She was only 48. 10 years later, at the age of 58, she underwent her first neurological evaluation. Challenges in planning or problem solving. Some people living with dementia may experience changes in their ability to develop and follow a plan or work with numbers. They may have trouble following a familiar recipe or keeping track of monthly bills. They may have difficulty concentrating and take much longer to do things that they did before. What's a typical age-related change? Making occasional errors when managing finances or household bills. Difficulty completing familiar tasks. People living with Alzheimer's disease often find it hard to complete routine tasks. Sometimes they may have trouble driving to a familiar location, organizing a grocery list, or remembering the rules of a favorite game. What's a typical age-related change? Occasionally needing help to use microwave settings or to record a TV show. As I reflect on some of the signs my father showed before his diagnosis, this one was one of the ones that we observed. He would get to the store and do not remember what he went there for. In frustration, he walked away without completing the task. Confusion with time or place. People living with Alzheimer's can lose track of dates, seasons, and the passage of time. They may have trouble understanding something it is not happening immediately. Sometimes they may forget where they are or how they got there. What's a typical age-related change? Getting confused about the day of the week, but remembering it later. My mother used to call me frantically to tell me she had not heard from me in a long time, when in fact we had talked the night before. My dad asks what day it is constantly. Trouble understanding visual images and spatial relationships. For some people, vision problems are a sign of Alzheimer's. This may lead to difficulty with balance or trouble reading. They may also have problems judging distance and determining color or contrast, causing issues with driving. My dad stopped driving on his own, but decided to walk everywhere. His trouble judging distances is clear when he avoids narrow spaces. New problems with words in speaking or writing. People living with Alzheimer's may have trouble following or joining a conversation. They may stop in the middle of a conversation and have no idea how to continue, or they may repeat themselves. They may struggle with vocabulary, have trouble naming a familiar object, or use the wrong name. What's a typical age-related change? Sometimes having trouble finding the right word, misplacing things, and losing the ability to retrace steps. A person living with Alzheimer's may put things in unusual places. They may lose things and be unable to go back over the steps to find them again. He or she may accuse others of stealing, especially as the disease progresses. What's atypical age-related change? Misplacing things from time to time and retracing steps to find them. My mom used to put dirty pots and pans under the cabinet and leave them there for a long time. She was not retracing her steps and retrieving them later, which is a typical age-related change. At the time, she was in her 50s. This continued to be a significant challenge with my dad. We tried to keep all of his things in one location so they don't get lost. Decreased or poor judgment. Individuals may experience changes in judgment or decision-making. For example, they may use poor judgment when dealing with money or paying less attention to grooming or keeping themselves clean. What's a typical age-related change? Making a bad decision or mistake once in a while, like neglecting to change the oil in the car. Withdrawal from work or social activities. A person living with Alzheimer's disease may experience changes in the ability to hold or follow a conversation. As a result, he or she may withdraw from hobbies, social activities, or other engagements. They may have trouble keeping up with the favorite team or activity. Sometimes feeling uninterested in family or social obligations may be a typical age-related change. Lastly, changes in mood or personality. Individuals living with Alzheimer's may experience mood or personality changes. They can become confused, suspicious, depressed, fearful, or anxious. They may be easily upset at home, with friends, and when out of their comfort zone. What's a typical age-related change? Developing very specific ways of doing things and becoming irritable when a routine is disrupted. Through the research I mentioned earlier, I learned about what experts call modifiable risk factors for dementia. The full list includes less education, hypertension, hearing impairment, smoking, obesity, depression, physical inactivity, diabetes, low social contact, excessive alcohol consumption, traumatic brain injury, and air pollution. My mother smoked, suffered from depression, was physically active, yet did not follow a consistent exercise routine, nor did she consistently follow a healthy diet, and did not go beyond the 9th grade. My mother checked at least 5 of the 12 modifiable risk factors for dementia. My takeaway was then, and it is today, my brain health today may determine the quality of my life tomorrow. And I decided to tell others. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Click the bell icon to receive notification of future content.